Hey everybody, Dr. Dan here. I'm your history professor for world history from 1500 for the fall semester at University of Toledo. So welcome. This is a new class for me. It's not a new class for me. I've taught it many times before, but it's a new textbook for me and a little bit of a new format. So I'm pretty excited about it. And what I want to do first is introduce myself and go through the syllabus. So let's just go through that real quick and I'll kind of talk along the way and we'll get to know each other and I'll try to keep it short. So anyway, it's going to be a fun class. The title of the class is a little misleading because it's actually world history from 1000, or at least the way I teach it is, but that's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. So, but again, it's history 1060, section 902. The CRN number is there. You see it right up. Where is it? Right there. Okay, there it is. And then you also see my contact information. So again, it's Dr. Dan. My name's Dan French, and my email address is there, daniel.french@utoledo.edu. And I'm virtual 24/7, so my office is online. My phone number in the syllabus is my cell phone number. That's 419-345-7220. Call me or text me anytime except in the middle of the night. I don't like that. But you probably don't do that anyway. So anyway, it's a 3 credit hour class. The class location is online, and I just say that because there's no need for any synchronous meeting or meeting online together as a class or anything like that. You do this all on your own time. Now, if you want to meet with me online via Zoom, like as office hour or something, that's cool. We can do that. Just reach out to me. But as far as the class itself goes, you don't have to be anywhere at any certain time. You just need to get the assignments done on time. And I think every assignment in this class is due on Sunday night before midnight, before the next day, 11:59 technically. So that's the way that runs. The description is a survey of world history. That just means we take this real broad swath of world history. It's almost impossible because we look at every country from China, all the countries in Europe, in just India and South America and North America. So it's a huge thing. So we can only touch scratch the surface. So I kind of pull out things that I think are biggies, and that's what we talk about. And again, the course statement, you can read it there, pretty straightforward. The student learning outcomes are there. They're pretty straightforward, and if you're not familiar with student learning outcomes, this is just the stuff that you're supposed to learn in the class, okay? Like sort of by the time you're done with this class, you'll be able to do these things. That's what student learning outcomes are. So check those out. They're all pretty easy, like interpret text. So that means we're going to read some primary source documents that, from history to try to figure out stuff, demonstrate knowledge of trends and critically appraise arguments and think critically. So we're going to do these things. We're going to learn all these things and it's going to be good. You got to get the textbook. It's an e-text. You have to get the e-text. If you're old-fashioned and you need paper or something, those times are past. Half the exercises come out of the book, so you have to have the e-text because the exercises are in the e-book. Most of you are familiar with that gig, but for those of you who aren't, or you're a non-traditional student and you need paper and pencil, it isn't happening. So that's the book. Those are the assignments. Now, if you need accommodations and these assignments from the textbook somehow don't meet your needs, please reach out to me or reach out to accessibility services because we want to make sure you're taken care of there. But you got to get the ebook, and you really need to have it by the second week of class because we have an assignment the second week of class that you need the book for. So there's that. I know some of you can't get the book right away because you're waiting for student loan money or something like that. If you don't have it by the second week of class, you get it by the third week. You can make up that exercise, but after that, there are no makeups. So get it as soon as you can. The info is here, the ISBN number. The bookstore has it. I just looked. It's properly documented. I think you just do it online. You don't go there because it's not a physical thing. But there it is. The technology expectations and support are straightforward. Obviously, if you're watching this, you know how to use a browser. You know how to get into Blackboard. You're pretty much good to go if you can do those things. I think the university likes you to use Google Chrome. It's what I use. It works. So that might be a good browser to use. And then all the other stuff about Blackboard and the University of Toledo IT help desk, which is great. So reach out to them instead of me if you have tech issues because they're faster than I am. And if you reach out to me, I have to call them. But you can call me too. I'm not trying to, I want to make sure you get help. But just please be aware that IT is really good here. University policies, you know about those. Don't cheat, lie, steal, all of that stuff. Don't use AI. There's no chance to use AI in this class because there's no rating assignments. And I sort of do breadcrumbing. In other words, I drop hints about stuff in my video, and that's what we're quizzed on. So AI doesn't know what I talk about. So you don't need that. Anyway, this is easy stuff. Tutoring services at the university, the library, disability, counseling, military service, services for online students, mental health, other things, whatever you need from the university, student food pantry. The University of Toledo provides those things. So please reach out because I know it's tough to study when you're going through tough times. Okay, course expectations. This is where I sound really mean. I think I say it 3 times. Late work might be accepted with a downgrade. Well, generally I'm pretty lenient. So if you're going to be late with something or something comes up, just let me know and you're going to be fine. You'll get your full grade. Unless it's like, unless you make a promise you can't keep. I don't like that. But I mean, I'm easy to get along with. So there's a bunch of mean statements in here because I have to put it in that sound like you're going to be in this big trouble if you turn in stuff late. And you may be. If you don't do stuff you say you were going to do. But for the most part, stuff comes up. I understand it. Give me advance notice. If you're an athlete or you have activities on campus, you're in the band, that sort of thing. I know, especially in the fall, you have to leave a lot and you're late, or you have to do work on the road, or you have 2-a-days if you're a Rocket football player or on the swim team. Just let me know that I'm easy to get along with. I know the athletic department is, in our course. So if you are an athlete, they're sort of looking at everything too to make sure you're done on time. You guys know about that, but that's fine. And if you're not an athlete and you just want to watch the game and drink some beer and be late, that's probably not a good idea. But hey, I shouldn't have said that because I know we have high schoolers in here. But anyway, I'm reasonable, easy to get along with. Here are the assignments and the points. There's 1,000 points in the class. I wish we didn't have to have points, but we have to have some way to grade you. So you see that these there's a map exercises and primary source exercises. Those come right out of the textbook. They're interactive in the text. They're kind of fun. I do all of those before you do them, so I make sure I understand them and how they work. And those are worth 100 points because they're a little bit harder to do, I think, maybe. The quizzes, the 50-point quizzes are generally 5 questions, multiple choice, super easy. And if you watch the desktop lecture every week, I almost always tell you the answers near the end of the lecture. So I force you to watch it all the way through, but they're generally less than 12 minutes. How bad can it be? And then primary source exercises, that's where you read a historical document and you answer a bunch of questions. And it's fun because you get to interact with history when you do that. And then a couple of the quizzes are 100-pointers. So that week 7 quiz is 100 points, and let's see, right there. And that is 100 points because it's actually 2 quizzes rolled into one because week 6 doesn't have an assignment, and so that's why that one's 100 points. Anything after week 7, like whatever your score is at the end of week 7, that's your midterm grade. There's no midterm exam in here. So make sure you caught up with all of your assignments before the end of week 7 or your midterm grade is going to be terrible. So make sure you do that. And it's the same with the final. There's no final exam. There's a final quiz, which is 2 chapters. It's not comprehensive. It's super easy. So you don't have to worry about the final either. And as a matter of fact, I think the way this is laid out, that you take this final quiz, the last week of school. So finals week, you don't have anything to do in here. So you can go stress out about all of your other stuff. Grading schema, I hate minuses and pluses, but I got to put them in. So there's that. If you find out my math is wrong, that would not be a surprise. So just let me know and I'll make it. Not when I'm grading because the system does that, but on my syllabus, if that's wrong, the percentages, let me know. Again, another statement about how mean and awful it is if you turn in stuff late. And then here is the most important part of the syllabus, which is the schedule. And everything is due on Sunday night at 11:59, and everything is open either all the time or open on the Monday morning after. And this stuff is easy. All of the exercises in here are obviously open book because they're book exercises. And then the quizzes are all open book. They're not timed. So if you need accommodations like longer test times or something, you already got them. It's infinity. You have as much time as you want as long as it's done by the due date. So it's open book, no worries. And this schedule is straightforward. There's some great topics in here. I'm not going to go through all of them. But the reason we started at 1,000, year 1,000 instead of 1,500 is I kind of like to get the plague in there, the Black Death. And so we kind of need those 2 chapters because the recovery from the plague is a big deal. When we get to chapter 12, which is actually 1,500 and Columbus, 1492, Ocean Blue, all of that stuff. So that's sort of one of the biggies. But we get into a lot of cool stuff here. And I'm a historian of technology is my specialty area. So there's a lot of cool technology in here. The printing press is a biggie. It's one of my favorites. And then the weapons of war and flight. I mean, a lot of things happen during this class, so it's kind of cool. So there's all that stuff. Read through the schedule, and I already talked about finals week, and it's 1,000 points total in the class. I generally do screw up on something in every syllabus, so you can go ahead and call me out and say, hey, you made a mistake. So I don't know. I don't think so. I looked at this one pretty carefully. But again, there's my contact info. If you need anything, reach out. We're going to have a great class. And there's a bunch of help on how to get into the ebook and all that stuff. So I think it's going to be fairly straightforward. So that's it. Be safe out there. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.